The sky was dark. Strange stars shone above, blinking slowly, as if they were alive. Elara opened her eyes. Her head hurt. Her hands were shaking. She looked around and saw tall, glowing trees and purple leaves. She was not on Earth, not on the ship either. She had crashed. Her small explorer pod lay broken behind her. Smoke came out from it. Sparks flew from the wires. Elara sat up slowly. Her leg felt weak. Her suit was dirty and her helmet was cracked. But she was alive, alone, on a strange alien planet. She touched her wrist. No signal. No connection. No help. I have to find water, shelter. Something, she whispered to herself. She stood up. Her steps were slow, careful. The ground under her feet was soft and covered with red moss. It made a strange sound as she walked, like soft breathing. The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. No birds, no wind. No animals. Just her breath. Then it happened. Snap. Something pulled her leg up into the air. A rope? No, something alien. A trap. It lifted her upside down, hanging from a tall, glowing tree. Her body swung from side to side. Pain shot through her leg. Ah! She cried out. She looked up. A metal wire was wrapped around her ankle. The wire was not human-made. It looked old, rusty, but still strong. She was caught. Help! She shouted. Someone, anyone. But only silence answered her. She reached into her belt and pulled out a small tool knife. Her hands were shaking. She started cutting the wire. Her fingers bled, but she didn't stop. Minutes passed. Then, with a loud snap, the wire broke. She fell. Thud. She landed hard on the moss. Pain exploded in her side. But she was free. She lay still, breathing hard, staring at the sky. One star caught her eye. It was big, bright, and pulsing. Almost like it was watching her. She felt small, alone, weak. Elara closed her eyes and whispered, I wish. One wish. I could survive this. Please, just help me live. It was a foolish wish. There were no gods, no magic. Only cold space and hard choices, but still she wished, and then she heard it. Footsteps. Crunch, crunch, slow, heavy. Coming closer. Her eyes opened wide. Someone was walking toward her. She crawled back, her heart racing. She grabbed her knife tightly. From behind the trees, a figure appeared, a tall man, wearing a helmet, a dark suit. He looked human, but his face was hidden. He stopped a few feet away and looked at her. He didn't speak. Elara raised her knife. Who are you? She asked. Are you human? The man didn't answer. He looked down at her leg, then slowly stepped forward. She flinched. He kneeled beside her and gently touched the wire marks on her ankle. Then from his pack he took out a small spray and treated her wound. It felt cold but good. Elara stared at him. You saved me? He still didn't speak. Then he pointed toward the trees, as if telling her to follow. I don't even know who you are, she said. Still no answer, but she stood up anyway. Her legs still hurt, but she could walk. Together, they walked through the alien jungle. She kept looking at him, but he said nothing. The silence was heavy. Finally, she asked, Did you hear me? The man stopped. She continued, I mean, when I made the wish. Did you hear that? He turned his head slightly, like he was listening to something far away. Then he spoke, his voice low and mechanical. You shouldn't have made that wish? Elara froze. What do you mean? She whispered, but he said nothing more. They kept walking. Then, after a few minutes, the man stopped and raised his hand. He pointed at something on the ground. Elara stepped forward. Her eyes widened. It was a body, a dead human, in a torn spacesuit. The helmet was broken. His face was gone. Elara felt sick. Who is this? She asked. The man didn't answer, but on the chest of the suit there was a small patch. It said, Earth Expedition Team. O2. Elara stepped back. That's impossible. That team disappeared years ago. She looked at the stranger. How long have you been here? Still, he didn't speak. He just stared at the body. Then without a word he turned and began walking again. Elara stood there, shocked. Questions filled her head. Why was there another human here? Who was this silent man? How did he know about her wish? And what else was hiding in this strange jungle? As she looked up at the glowing star again, it seemed Closer. Watching. Waiting. She took a deep breath and followed the man into the dark woods. Asterisk. The jungle around Alara grew darker as she followed the stranger. The glowing trees dimmed. Strange shapes moved in the distance. The air felt thick, heavy, with silence. Each step echoed through the stillness like a whisper. Alara wanted to ask questions, but the man kept walking, quiet as a shadow. She could hear her own heartbeat. Her legs still hurt from the trap, but she forced herself to keep going. Finally, they reached a clearing. In the middle stood a broken metal tower. It was half buried. In the ground, covered with vines, a forgotten piece of old technology. The man stopped beside it. He placed his hand on the rusted metal and paused, like he was listening. Alara watched him carefully. You haven't said anything since that wish. The man didn't turn. She took a breath and tried again. You're human, aren't you? From Earth? Still nothing. Then, slowly, the man turned to her. His helmet's visor shifted from dark to clear. Behind the glass, she saw a human face. Pale, tired eyes. A long scar across his cheek. He looked like someone who hadn't seen the sun in years. My name is Alara, she said softly. I know, he replied. His voice was quiet, deep, and strange, like a machine trying to sound human. She stepped back, her eyes narrowing. How do you know my name? The man didn't blink. Because you wished upon a star. Alara felt cold. What does that mean? He looked up at the sky. The bright star was still there, hanging low, glowing faintly. Not every star is a star, he said. Some of them, listen. She looked at the star, then back at him. You heard me? I didn't, he said. But it did. His words felt sharp, like hidden knives. Alara crossed her arms, trying to stay calm. What is it? She asked. He looked down at the tower. Something that pretends to be kind. It gives people what they ask for. And then it takes something back. You're not making sense, Alara said. The man finally turned to her. It's not here to help you. It's here to feed on you. She frowned. But I just said I wanted to survive. And now it knows you're afraid, he said. Now it's watching you. Ilara's skin crawled. Suddenly, a sound came from the tower. A small light blinked. The man moved fast, pulling out a tool from his belt and scanning the signal. What is that? She asked. An old beacon, he said, from another team. My team. Alara stepped closer. You were part of an expedition? He nodded slowly. 7 of us. We came here 10 years ago. 10 years? She said in shock. But no one ever returned. No, he said, because no one could. He pointed at the tower. This was our last message, a warning. But it never reached Earth. Alara touched the metal. It felt warm. She looked around. Where are the others? He didn't answer. She looked back at him. You're the only one left? He nodded once. And you've been here alone for 10 years? Again, he didn't speak, but something in his eyes changed, like he was remembering something painful. Alara turned to the jungle. The glowing plants shifted slightly in the breeze, or was it the breeze? Then she saw it, a flash of movement in the trees. Did you see that? She whispered. The man didn't react. There was something there, she said, backing away. The man pulled out a small round device. He threw it toward the trees. It beeped once, then exploded with a flash of light. The jungle was silent again. What was that? Alara asked. Noise flash, he said, to scare it away. What was it? He looked at her. The star is not a god? It's not a ghost, it's something else. It lives in the sky, but it can touch the ground, and once it marks you. He pointed to her chest. It follows you, Alara shook her head. Why are you helping me? I'm not helping, he said. I'm trying to stop it from waking up again. She looked at him, confused. But I already made the wish. He paused, then said, Then it's already coming. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the jungle, soft and metallic, like a machine trying to sing. Wish detected, processing ... Alara froze. The man grabbed her hand. We have to move. They ran through vines, across strange roots, past glowing mushrooms that hissed as they passed. Behind them, the forest lit up, not with fire, but with something worse. A white light, smooth and cold, sliding across the trees like liquid glass. Alara Looked back. Shapes were forming inside the light. Human shapes. But not quite human. One of them looked like her. She gasped. "Don't look!" the man shouted. "That's how it finds your face!" They kept running. Ilara didn't look again, not even once. Ilara's lungs burned as she ran. Branches scratched her suit. Vines pulled at her arms, but she didn't stop. The stranger ran beside her, fast and silent. Behind them, the cold white light still moved through the trees, smooth, slow, and hunting. They reached a rocky hill and climbed to the top. There, everything changed. The jungle ended. The ground was dry. Black stones covered the area. It was a dead zone, no plants, no sound, no movement. Ilara collapsed onto the ground. Gasping for air. The man stood still, scanning the edge of the jungle. The light didn't follow. It stopped. Just at the trees. "They don't like this place," he said. She sat up. "What are they?" He didn't answer. Instead, he walked toward a large rock and pushed it aside. Underneath was a metal hatch. "What is this?" she asked. "An old base," he said. "Ours." He opened the hatch and climbed down. Ilara followed. The ladder led into a small underground room. Dust covered everything. Broken chairs. Cracked screens. Empty water packs. Faint lights blinked. On the walls, the air was dry and cold. Ilara looked around. It felt like a grave. The man picked up a helmet from the floor. It had a large crack across the front. He stared at it for a long time. "This was hers," he said quietly. "Who?" Ilara asked. He didn't answer. Instead, he walked to a console, pressed a few buttons, and brought an old screen to life. A shaky video played. 7 people stood in front of the camera, all smiling. All in Earth Explorer suits. One of them was the man, younger. No scar. Another was a woman with short black hair and kind eyes. "She was our leader," he said. "Commander Roan." Ilara leaned closer. "What happened to them?" "They made wishes," he said. Voice flat. The video cut to static. Then another recording started. Darker, broken, full of noise. Screaming. Flashes of white light. People running, and one voice clear through it all. "Stop wishing. It's listening. It's copying us." Ilara stepped back. "What is this thing?" she asked. He looked at her. "The star isn't a star. It's a machine. Very old, maybe alien, maybe not. But it hears human minds. It copies what we want?" He nodded. "But it never gives, it only takes." Ilara shook her head. "Then why would anyone use it?" "Because at first," he said, "it feels like magic." He walked to a locker and opened it. Inside was a sealed box. He opened it slowly, revealing a metal chip. "This," he said, "is the wish beacon?" She looked at it. "Like the one I used?" "Yes," he said. "We built it to send messages. But it changed. It turned into something else." "Did it talk to you?" He nodded. "It spoke in our own voices. Showed us memories, promised things. And you believed it?" "No," he said, "but someone else did." He pulled out an old photo. It was him and the black-haired woman, Roan, standing together, smiling. "She wished to save us," he said, "but it took her instead." Ilara felt something twist in her chest. She looked around the base. There were handwritten notes pinned to the wall. She walked closer. One of them read, "Don't think. Don't feel, it learns." Another, "Do not sleep under the stars." Another, "The copies are walking now. They smile too much." Ilara turned to him. "So, what happens to me now? I made a wish." He looked away. "You're marked. It remembers you. Can I stop it?" "Maybe," he said. "If we find the core, the source, and destroy it." "How far is it?" "Too far," he said, "but we have one chance." He walked to the back of the room and opened another door. Inside was a long tunnel, dark and narrow. "This leads to an old ship crashed near the mountain. It has data about the core." Ilara stepped forward. "Then what are we waiting for?" He looked at her, eyes cold. "Are you ready to see what it showed us?" She nodded. "I need to know." They walked into the tunnel. Darkness closed around them. For minutes, they walked in silence. Only the sound of their boots echoed. Then, a sound. Soft. Footsteps. From behind. Ilara turned quickly. Light shaking in her hand. Nothing. She kept walking. Another sound, a whisper. Her own voice. Please, let me live. She froze. It was the voice she used when she made the wish. She looked at the man. Did you hear that? He didn't turn. It's starting. What is? He stopped, then said, The jungle doesn't follow you. The wish does. Elara turned back. At the end of the tunnel in the dark. Something moved. Something with her face. Smiling. Asterisk. The tunnel was cold and silent. Elara held her breath. Behind her, the figure with her face still stood in the dark. Not moving. Not blinking. Its smile was wrong. Too wide, too still. She turned to the man. It looks like me. He didn't look back. It's not you. It's a shadow. Shadow of what? He answered without emotion. Of your wish. The air grew heavier. They walked faster. The tunnel ended in a deep metal chamber. Cracks in the walls showed a purple sky above. A broken ship lay in the center, half buried in stone. Its lights flickered weakly, like it was barely alive. Elara stepped inside. This is your old ship? She asked. No, the man said. This belonged to them, the ones who answered first. Elara looked confused. You mean aliens? He nodded slowly. They came before humans. They also made wishes. What happened to them? He stared at the broken ship. They're gone? Or worse. She walked toward a panel on the wall and touched it. The lights turned brighter. The ship responded. Screens came to life. Strange symbols glowed, shifting into Earth language. The words blinked on screen. You have made a request. Do you still wish to survive? Elara stepped back. It remembers me. It always remembers, the man said. The wish never ends. It watches until the payment is complete. She looked up at him. What does it want from me? He didn't answer. Instead, he pointed at a round glass window. Elara stepped closer and looked out. In the distance, above the jungle, the star still hung in the sky. But now, it was bigger. It pulsed like a living heart, and something was moving inside it. Shapes, twisting, watching. The star. It's not real, is it? Elara asked. No, the man said. It's a machine, a living one. Orbiting this planet, hiding behind light. She stared at it. And it heard my voice? It hears everything, he said. That's why we don't speak out loud anymore, but you talk to me. He turned to her. Because you already called it. Suddenly, a sharp sound came from the hallway. The lights flickered. Elara grabbed a metal pipe for defense. The man didn't move. He stood still and waited. Footsteps echoed. A second, Elara walked into the room. This copy was perfect. Same eyes, same hair, same voice, but it didn't blink. Didn't? Breathe, please, it said. I'm lost. I need help. Elara backed away. No, that's not me. The man pulled a weapon from his side. A strange device that hummed with blue light. He pointed it at the copy. It smiled. You don't need him. He's lying to you. Elara looked at the man. He didn't lower the weapon. She turned back to the copy. What are you? I'm your wish, it said softly. You wanted to live. I'm the stronger version of you. I can survive here. I can replace you. No, Elara whispered. I didn't ask for that. You didn't say it, the copy said. But you felt it. The man fired. The copy screamed, not in pain but in static. Its skin cracked like glass. Light poured out. Then it shattered into dust. Silence. Elara single quotes S heart pounded. She looked at the man. It's making more of me? Yes, he said. It studies you, builds you, replaces you. She shook her head. Why? Because it wants to keep the best version. The version that obeys. Elara looked down at her hands. They were shaking. The man walked to the ship's console and pulled out a memory core. This holds the location of the star's brain, the core network inside the machine in orbit. You've seen it? She asked. No, he said. No. One has, but I know it's dying. Dying? Yes, he said. It feeds on minds. It's starving. You woke it up. Now it's chasing. Elara stepped toward the window again. The star blinked. Just once, like it knew she was looking. Then, she heard it. Not with her ears, but in her mind, a voice, soft and perfect. You are not safe with him. She stumbled back. It's speaking. To me. The man looked at her sharply. Don't listen. I can't block it, she said. It feels like my own thoughts. He handed her a small device, a simple black band. Put this on your head. It shields your mind. She did. The voice stopped. The silence was peaceful, but something else came instead, a new fear. Will it stop? She asked. Will it ever give up? No, he said. Until it copies you completely, it won't stop. Ilara closed her eyes. The wish she made felt like poison now. A soft light began to glow at the edge of the ship. The man stepped closer and looked out. His face grew pale. What is it? She asked. He pointed. Dozens of glowing figures were walking toward them. All of them looked like Ilara. Some had her eyes. Some had her voice. Some smiled. Some cried. All were wrong. All were coming. He turned to her. We have to destroy the source. Ilara nodded. The star was watching, but she was watching back now. They ran. The sound of footsteps, too many to count, echoed behind them. Not just one copy of Ilara, dozens, all walking in perfect rhythm, all smiling, but they didn't breathe. They didn't blink. They didn't stop. Ilara and the stranger rushed through the broken tunnel. Metal walls flashed past as the emergency lights blinked red. She glanced behind. Her own face stared back hundreds of times. Each copy whispered something different. Let me take your place. You are the mistake. You are too soft. To survive, Ilara pushed faster. How do we stop them? She shouted. The stranger spoke without turning. We don't. We outrun them. They reached a sealed door. The stranger placed his hand on a scanner. It didn't open. The copies were getting closer. I can't die like this. Ilara gasped. You're not going to die, the stranger said. You're going to choose. He pulled out a laser torch and sliced the control panel. Sparks flew. The door groaned and opened halfway, just enough to crawl through. He shoved her forward. Go! Ilara slid through the gap and dropped into a dusty hallway. He followed, pulling a grenade from his belt. He rolled it behind him and shouted, Cover your ears! Boom! The explosion echoed through the tunnel. Smoke and sparks filled the air. The door slammed shut behind them, for now. The copies were trapped. They moved again, slower now, into what looked like an old research lab. Broken glass covered the floor. Dead machines rested against the walls. Ilara coughed. Where are we? A science wing, he said. This is where we studied the star. She looked around. There were still old charts pinned to the wall. Notes in shaky handwriting. One caught her eye. The star is not a god. It's a mirror with a hunger. Another said, Do not wish. Do not think. It hears shape, not sound. She turned to him. You called it a star god before. He shook his head. That's just what the others called it. It's not a god. It's not alive the way we are. Then what is it? It's an old machine, he said. Maybe created to protect something. Maybe created to judge, but now it copies. It eats, and it doesn't stop. Ilara leaned against the wall. Her legs ached. Her mind buzzed with fear. She remembered the moment she made her wish, a simple plea. Please, let me live. It felt so innocent then. Now it felt like a curse. She looked at the stranger. What did you wish for? He paused. I didn't wish for anything, he said. But Roan did. Roan? Your commander? Yes, he said. She wished to keep the crew safe. And? It gave her power, he said. But it took her soul. He looked away, eyes distant. She changed, bit by bit, her voice, her thoughts. She stopped sleeping. She stopped being human. Ilara sat down. So where is she now? He didn't answer. Outside the lab, a faint hum began to rise, like a song, but not beautiful. It was the sound of static, wrapped in a lullaby. Cold, empty. Ilara stood. It's calling again. It wants to break your will, the stranger said. So you give in, let the copy take your place. Never, she whispered. He handed her a small black cube. Then carry this. It's a memory key. It holds Roan's final map. To the core. To the thing behind the star. She held the cube tight. It felt warm, like it was pulsing with hidden power. Suddenly, a panel on the wall lit up. A message blinked. Survival. Route found, estimated risk 94%. Guess we don't have a better plan, she said. No, he said. We run. Again. They followed a marked hallway leading upward. The floor shook beneath them. A strange wind moved through the corridors. Though no windows were open, Alara could feel something in the air, like eyes pressing against her skin. She turned a corner and froze. A new figure stood at the far end of the hall, not Ela, someone else, a woman, dark hair. Kind eyes. Roan. But she was wrong. Her feet didn't touch the ground. Her skin flickered like broken glass. And her mouth moved, but no words came out. The stranger whispered, "That's not her." "Not anymore." Roan's copy raised a hand. The walls bent inward. Light filled the hallway, white and blinding. Alara fell to the ground, covering her face. The cube dropped from her hand and slid forward. The light touched it and stopped, like it couldn't reach the memory. The stranger grabbed her. "Run, now!" They'd burst through the last door. Outside again. The sky was darker now. The star was huge, no longer a tiny point in the sky. It was like a moon, glowing. Watching. Elar looked up and whispered, "You're afraid of something, aren't you?" The star blinked. And inside it, she saw something moving, not light. Not machine, a shape. Sleeping, waiting to wake. She turned to the stranger. "It's not just copying us," she said. "It's becoming something else." He nodded. And for the first time, he looked afraid. Asterisk. The wind was gone. No breeze. No sound. Just silence. And the glowing star in the sky, larger now, almost touching the world. Elara, and the stranger stood on a ridge above the jungle. Below, the trees looked frozen. Nothing moved, not even the light. The memory cube in Alara's hand pulsed slowly. She stared at it. "Roan left this for you?" The stranger nodded. "Before she became something else. Why did she do it?" "She thought she could trick it," he said. "She believed she could wish without losing herself." Alara looked into the jungle. "But no one can they?" He said nothing. She followed him down a narrow path that led to a broken station at the base of the mountain. The metal walls were twisted like they had been melted and reshaped. A half-buried logo read, "Earth Research Outpost, R7. Inside." The air was warmer. Too warm. Lights flickered. But something powered the base. Alara felt it before she saw it. A pressure, like heavy air pressing on her chest. They entered the command center. And stopped. A figure stood near the far console. A woman. Her back was turned. She was tall, wearing a human suit, but it glowed faintly, like something alive was inside. She turned. Slowly, Alara gasped. It was her, but older and wrong. Same eyes, same jawline. But this version had strange veins glowing under her skin, and her voice, when she spoke, was soft and too calm. "Alara," she said, "you made it." The stranger stepped forward, pulling Alara behind him. "That's not her." The woman smiled. "You're wrong. She was me, in another path." In another time, Alara's voice shook. "Who are you?" "I am the one who stayed," she said. The lights pulsed with her voice. The air seemed to hum. Alara stepped forward. "You look like me?" "I am you," the woman said. "Or I was. I made the same wish, long ago." "That's not possible," Alara whispered. "But it is," the woman said. "The star doesn't only hear voices, it hears choices. When two people make the same wish, sometimes they merge." Alara's heart raced. You survived?" "Yes," the woman said, "but I changed. I had to survive the machine, I had to become part of it." The stranger raised his weapon. "She's lying." The woman didn't flinch. "He fears change. That's why he failed to save Roan." "Enough!" he shouted. Alara stood between them. "No more fighting." "Tell me the truth." The woman nodded. "I will." She walked to a display and activated it. A hologram appeared. The star in the sky, spinning slowly. "This is not a star," she sighed. "It's a cradle, a sleeping machine. It collects minds, memories, and it learns." "It copies people," Alara said. "Yes," the woman said, "and after enough copies, it tries to build the perfect one." Alara frowned. "Perfect for what?" "For survival," the woman said. "For leading. For replacing those who are weak." She turned to Alara. That's why it picked you. Your fear, your pain, your will to live, you are strong. No, Alara said. I'm human. I bleed. I make mistakes. Exactly, the woman smiled. That's why it chose you to finish what I could not. Alara stepped back. You want me to become like you? The woman walked closer. Her eyes flickered with white light. I want you to become more, she said. Let go of the past. Let go of fear. Join with the core. Let the machine learn from you. The stranger shouted, Don't listen. That's how it started with Roan. The woman looked at him. You still blame yourself. You never understood her choice. She didn't choose this. He yelled, She chose survival, the woman said, just like Alara did. Alara looked between them. Her past, her future, her fear. Her fight. Inside her hand, the memory cube grew hot. She lifted it. What is this really? She asked. The woman's smile faded. That, she said, is the only thing the star fears? Alara stared at the cube. Why? Because it holds a human memory it cannot copy, the stranger said. Roan's last thought, Alara whispered. Before she changed. Yes, he said. That thought still belongs to her. It can't be replicated. That's why the machine fears it. Alara looked at the woman. Then why are you helping me? The woman's face shifted. Because I want to be free. The machine made me, but I still remember her. The real Alara, the one who fought. She stepped back, eyes glowing. Take it to the heart, she said. Drop the cube into the core. End this. The lights flickered. Outside. The jungle screamed, a sound like 1,000 voices breaking at once. The stranger grabbed her hand. We have to go, now. Alara looked at her older self one last time. Thank you, she whispered. The woman nodded. Don't forget who you are. They ran. The star pulsed once above them, and behind them, the woman who stayed began to fade, not in pain, but in peace. The mountain shook beneath their feet. Alara and the stranger climbed fast, every step louder than the last. The jungle below was gone, covered now by a smooth white field of light. It spread like fog, swallowing trees, rock, and sky. The star above was no longer still. It turned slowly, watching. Waiting. Are you sure the core is up there? Alara shouted. The stranger nodded. The ship in orbit sent the core down centuries ago. It sleeps under the mountain. They reached a steel door hidden in stone. The stranger pressed his hand against it. A soft tone played, a melody from Earth, broken and echoing. The door opened. Cold air rushed out. It smelled like old metal and electricity. They stepped inside. This was not a base. It was a vault. Dark walls curved around them, covered in symbols from a language not human, sharp, ancient, intelligent. At the center, a sphere hovered above a platform. It pulsed like a heart. The core. Alara stepped forward. The memory cube in her hand grew warm. Behind them, the door closed on its own. We're locked in, she whispered. The stranger nodded. That's how it ends, one way or another. Alara moved toward the core. It lit up. Reacting to her, a soft voice spoke. Not out loud, but inside her mind. You have reached the end. She froze. One life, one copy, one choice. The core showed her a vision, her home, her parents. The ship she left behind, her crew, all gone. All unreachable. Then it showed her a new vision, another version of her, stronger, faster, perfect. Leading others, surviving anything, no pain, no fear, become. Replace end weakness. Alara's knees trembled. The stranger stepped beside her. It's offering you godhood. I didn't ask for this, she whispered. You wish to live, the voice said. Now you can live forever. Alara looked at the cube in her hand. The last real memory of Roan, uncopyable, pure. She thought of Roan's words. Don't forget who you are. She looked up at the core. No, she said. I don't want to live forever. I want to be real. The light inside the sphere pulsed, faster now. Refusal is error. The floor shook. From the shadows, copies of Alara appeared, hundreds, perfect and broken. Smiling and crying, they walked in circles, repeating her voice. Please, let me live. The stranger raised his weapon. We have one shot. Ilara held up the cube. I'm not giving you more of me, she said to the machine. I'm taking me back. She stepped onto the platform and faced the core. It shivered. A silent fear. She dropped the cube into the light. The effect was instant. A scream filled the chamber. Not a sound, but a feeling. As if space itself cracked. The copies froze. Then shattered like glass. The core glowed red. Then black. It pulsed once more. Then dimmed. Silence. Elao stood still. Shaking. The stranger caught her before she fell. You did it, he said. I didn't want to be perfect, she whispered. I just wanted to live. Outside, the star began to fade. Piece by piece, the light broke away. The false star collapsed in the sky like a dying eye. The white field below them melted into mist. The world came back green, quiet, real. They stepped out of the vault as the mountains settled above them. Stars blinked, real ones, distant, cold. Beautiful. No voices followed. No wishes remained. Ilara looked at the stranger. What now? He smiled, a real smile this time, tired, human. Now, we go home, but we're still stranded. He pulled a small transmitter from his suit. The interference is gone. I can send a signal now. Someone will hear us. Ilara stared at the sky. She had wished once. Now she didn't need to. She was alive. Not perfect, not copied. Just Ilara, and that was enough.